Good morning, second graders. Today is Monday, April 20th, and we are on week 4 of our distance learning. I'm so happy that we can be together for this week again. The matrix for this week looks a lot like the other ones. The only difference is that it's got different dates and different activities, but it's hard to keep them all straight, isn't it? Because they look so much alike. You have to make sure that you're on week 4, April 20th through the 24th. And we're going to look at our matrix a little bit closer in a little bit. So one of the things I realized that I forgot to talk to you about last week in our videos was this packet that was in your folder that you picked up last week for your new distance learning materials. It says My 2020 COVID-19 Time Capsule. And this is just something that we put in all the folders just because we thought it would be kind of a cool thing to work on as you have time. It's not required. You don't have to do it, but it's supposed to be kind of like a scrapbook. So if you have some extra time or you're bored at home or you just feel like doing something different, you can complete a page or two at a time and then color it, and it can be a keepsake because this is a weird time in history. We've never had to do this before with this pandemic, with COVID-19. So it would be kind of a cool thing to do and to keep, and then years from now, you can get it out and look at it and remember this weird time in history. There's a couple of words on here that are spelled differently than we know how to spell things in America. This was actually made in Britain, so it wasn't made in the US, and they spell a couple of words differently than we do. One of them is color. They spell it with a U, C-O-L-O-U-R, and favorite, and they spell it F-A-V-O-U-R-I-T-E, and that's okay. That's how Britons spell those two words over in Britain, but that's not how we spell it here, and that's okay. I just wanted to point those out to you so that you didn't think Mrs. Lunning wrote it and spelled it wrong, because I wouldn't do that, would I? No. So if you would like to do that, go right ahead. If you don't want to, that's fine too. It was just something for you to do if you choose. So, all right. Today, I'm actually going to show you our new Magic Treehouse book that we're going to be doing this week. This is called Lions at Lunchtime, and it is book 11 in the Magic Treehouse series, written by Mary Pope Osborne. Okay, so we aren't going to actually start reading it today. We're just going to do some activities ahead of time before we actually start. But if you do have the book, you're going to have to promise not to read ahead. And I know that's going to be hard because it's a good book and you're going to want to see what happens. But it's more fun if we do it together on the video each day. So promise not to read ahead. And we do that sometimes at school, don't we? We have to promise not to read ahead. All right. Now, we know that good readers do some pre-reading activities before they read. So let's think about Magic Treehouse books. Is there something that you already know about Magic Treehouse books? Do you already know something about the main characters in the story? And do you remember how the Magic Treehouse transports the children to another time and another place? So think about those things before you read this book, and they're kind of connected, aren't they? So I'm going to show you this cover really close up and really slowly. And I want you to look at the title and study the picture. We know that good readers ask questions before they read. They make predictions before they read. And even during reading and after reading, they can ask questions and make predictions, right? So if you have your own copy of the book, you can get that. If not, that's all right. You can just listen and watch the video because it's all right here, isn't it? So look at the picture, see if you have any questions, see if you can make a prediction. Look at the title. And we're going to read the back blurb together. And it says, "Where are the lions? Jack wonders when the Magic Treehouse whisks him and his sister to the vast plains of Africa." That might have been one of your predictions, that you know what takes place there. Before he can find out, Annie starts to help hundreds of wildebeests cross a rushing river. And you might be saying, I don't know what a wildebeest is. So that might be one of your questions. What's a wildebeest? I bet the book will tell us, won't it? Next, they follow a honey of a bird and meet an awesome Maasai warrior. I wonder what that is. I bet the book will answer that too. Jack hopes any lions will just stay away. Jack is about to be very disappointed, but you won't be when you read Magic Treehouse number 11, Lions at Lunchtime. Okay, now, since we're not actually going to start reading the book today, there's a couple of pages in your reading packet that you are going to complete before we do start reading the book tomorrow. So on your matrix, I'm going to show you that. And for today, it says, watch my YouTube video and then complete pages 1 and 2 in your Lions at Lunchtime packet. Do not begin reading yet. And then it says, read 20 minutes from another book of your choice. So this was in your folder. And we didn't start it last week because it was supposed to be for this week. You can see it says April 20th to May 1st. And this is the reading packet that's going to go along with your book, Lions at Lunchtime. Okay, and I'm sure that you were wanting to do this last week, but I hope you didn't because you need to read the book in order to do the packet, right? So today we are going to complete pages 1 and 2. And so here's page 1, and I'll put it up nice and close. It says, before reading. Number 1 says, who is the author of the book, Lions at Lunchtime? Now remember, I showed you the cover. I'll show it to you again. And I bet you'll be able to see where the author is listed. And if you need to stop the video while you write it down, go ahead. Just pause it, write it down, and then start it up again. Number 2 says, have you read any other stories written by this author? Check yes or no. That should be an easy one. Number 3, look at the front cover. What are some text features you notice that could help you predict what the book will be about? Okay, so we talked about the T and then the P. And those are some hints for you to figure out those 2 answers. And number 4, using those text features, make a prediction about what the book will be about. And we kind of did that. It kind of made it easy because we read the blurb on the back, didn't we? So if you can remember, write your prediction. If not, pause the video and see what the back of the blurb said, and maybe that will help you make a prediction. Okay, and that is page 1. Page 2 looks like this, and the pages are right at the bottom. So page 2 says, Lions at Lunchtime before reading. Look at the cover of the book and think about the title. Make a prediction. What might this book be about? You just did that here. So you can write something very similar for number 1. Notice all the lines that are on this page. I want you to be sure to start with a capital letter and write a complete sentence and put a period at the end. One of the ways you could start it would be to say, my prediction is, or this book might be about. Those are 2 ways that you could start your answer to number 1. The second question says, where do you think the setting of this book might be based on the title and the cover? Okay, well that was easy because we gave it away when we read the blurb, didn't we? But again, complete sentence. Beginning capital letter, ending with a period. You could start by saying the setting of the book is, and then tell me where the setting is. Remember, the setting means where the story takes place. And the last one, write your prior knowledge about Africa. And that means, what do you already know about Africa? Is there some animals that you know that live in Africa? Do you know anything about the temperature in Africa or what is in Africa? Anything you might know about Africa. And you could start that by saying, my prior knowledge about Africa is, and you could write that. Or you could start by saying, I know blah, 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 blah about Africa. Capital letter and periods. Look at all those lines. I know that you can use at least some of them. Okay, good job. Now, when you are finished with those 2 pages, there's an activity on Seesaw that we have put on Seesaw for you. So you can go on Seesaw and you're going to record what you wrote on these first 2 pages. You're going to take a picture of it and you're going to record yourself reading your answers. And then that way I can see your work, what a great job you did, and I can hear your beautiful voice reading and see your beautiful face, and that will make me happy. So go ahead and do that when you're done. It'll be on Seesaw for you this morning. So Now, once you're done with that, you will be done with your must-dos for reading today. So we're going to look at the math must-dos today. We're on April 20th, so we go across, remember. And for math, it says, check my progress. Complete numbers 1 through 6 on page 547. It looks like this, and it's in your folder. Okay, so if you need to pause the video and go get your check my progress sheet and a pencil, that would be great. Go ahead and pause it, go get your materials, and come back and start the video again. And we are going to do our must-dos for math. First, we're going to correct what we did on Friday. So I'm going to get that out. So if you have your Friday work that you would like to correct and see if you got it all right, you can bring that to the table too. Okay? Okay, second graders, for math, on Friday, you were asked to do independent practice, page 543. And it was from lesson 3 about picture graphs. So on the back, we had to use, or on this side, I should say, we used the data from the graph to answer the questions, numbers 4 through 9. And the graph was about how we get to school. So we had bus, walk, bike, and car. So number 4 said, how do most students get to school? And we knew it was walking because walking had the most pictures after it. How many students ride the bus and ride in cars? And that was 4 because 2 rode the bus and 2 rode in the cars, and 2 plus 2 equals 4. Number 6 said, how many students voted? And all you had to do was count each picture because each picture equals 1 vote. So you should have counted and gotten 10. Number 7 said, how will the graph change if you add another way to get to school? And it would change because then your graph would have 1 more row, right? Because this is bus, walk, bike, car. So if you added another way to get to school, it would just have 1 more row underneath here. Number 8, write a question that can be answered using the data in the picture graph. Remember on Friday, I told you that you needed to have a comparison question, either how many more or how many fewer. And I think I even gave you this example that I wrote down. So your question obviously can be different than mine as long as it's a how many more or a how many fewer question. So the question that I chose was how many more students walked to school than rode in a car. So if we go up to our graph, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 students that walked and 2 that rode in a car. And so number 9, you had to write an equation to show that to answer the question. So remember when we ask how many more or how many fewer, it's always a subtraction number sentence. And you always have to start with the biggest number. So 5 was the biggest number. Take away 2 that rode in a car equals 3. So that means 3 more students walked than rode in a car. And if you look at your picture graph, you can see that just by looking at the picture. Here's your car, here's your walking. These 2 line up, and there's 3 extra. So 3 more students walked to school than rode in a car. Great job. On the back, you had favorite pizza toppings, and the question said, 3 more people were surveyed and they all like cheese. What topping is now the favorite? So if you went up above and you added 3 more pictures for cheese pizza, now cheese is the longest line, right? So your answer was cheese. And number 11, Carter voted for vegetables, Kylie voted for sausage. Whose favorite pizza topping got more votes and how many more votes? So if he picked vegetable, that had 3. She picked sausage, that had 2. Obviously, his was more favorite than hers, so we wrote Carter. And how many more votes did Carter's get? 1 more, because here's vegetables with 3, and sausage has only 2. And 3 minus 2 equals 1. So that's your answer for that. And I hope you did the right math to write a question about the graph and have a friend or a family member answer the question. If you did, great job. All right, that was Friday's work. Now today, just like we looked on the matrix earlier, and we are doing the Check My Progress page today. You only have to do this side, and it's on page 547. And all you have to do is 1 through 6. So we'll do the back for tomorrow. So don't do the back, just 1 through 6 today. So it's pretty easy. So number 1, at the top it says vocabulary check. Write the word to complete each sentence. And you can see the yellow highlighted words. Those are your vocabulary words, words that are important in the chapter. And you can see picture graph and survey and key. So it says in number 1, in a blank, you collect data by asking people the same question. So which word would fit in that blank? And I'm not going to tell you. That's what you need to figure out, right? Number 2, a blank tells what or how many each symbol stands for. So which one of those 3 words fits in that blank? And number 3, a blank has different pictures to show information collected. So which one has different pictures that shows information? Okay, and at the bottom, it says concept check. Ask 10 people their favorite color. Use tally marks to record the data. And then use the data in the chart to answer the questions. Now, I thought I'd help you out with this one a little bit. We're talking about favorite color. So just like before, there was a few math lessons ago that I just chose people and they had to pick their favorite lunch, I think. And so today I'm going to pick 10 more people from our class, and I'm just going to go ahead and guess what their color is. And I'm sure I'll probably be wrong, but that's okay. And you're going to use that information on the video then to answer numbers 4, 5, and 6. Okay? Here we go. The first person I'm going to pick is Jackie. And I'm going to think that Jackie likes green. Okay? And then I'm going to pick Hayden. And I'm going to say Hayden likes pink. I don't know if you really do, Hayden, but that's what we're going to pick for today. Gabby. I'm going to say Gabby likes blue. And I need to ask 10 people. So I'm going to choose 10 students from our class for this tally chart. Perla. We haven't used purple Perla, so I'm going to put Perla likes purple. Okay, Adam. I'm going to guess Adam likes green. So I'm going to put a tally mark for green for Adam. Oliver. I'm going to guess Oliver likes blue. So I'm going to put a tally mark for Oliver. Jaden. I'm going to say Jaden likes green. And I'm going to give a third tally mark to green. And Addison, I'm going to say you like pink. So there's pink for Addison. And Saklali, I'm going to do purple for you. And then I think Kaylee, I think Kaylee, I'm going to do pink. There. So there is my favorite color, and that's my tally chart. So your job is to look at my video and go ahead and add up the totals here. And then we're going to answer some questions. Look, what color do people like the most? I see a tie. So you're going to have to write 2 different colors on there. And number 5, how many people like pink and green? So you're going to have to add those up. And number 6, what color do people like the least? There's a tie on that one too. Mrs. Lunning didn't do that very well, did she? That's all right. It makes it more challenging, and I know you can figure out the answers. Have fun with your math today, boys and girls. Once you finish this number 1 through 6, you are done with your must-dos for math today. And we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.